Tonight on the Night Team.
Yes, we have multiple victims and we haven't even gotten to all of them yet, and we have a very large crowd.
Chaos as shots ring out outside a nightclub in the Russell neighborhood. 1 person killed, 7 others injured.
The redundancy of gunfire interrupts it constantly.
Police are now searching for a suspect. Tonight we have the latest and how community leaders are responding. And then celebrities gathered at Eastern High School today to bring awareness to mental health.
Whatever you're going through, like, those moments are okay.
Tonight, we have the inspiration behind the cause and how you can help. The Night Team starts now. One person is dead tonight and 7 others are injured following a mass shooting overnight in the Russell neighborhood. It's our top story here on the Night Team. I'm Alex Dieterer. The Club H2O on West Broadway. According to the club's social media, they were hosting an event featuring Lil Boozy, who had just performed at Funk Fest earlier in the night. WHAS11 Night Team's Taylor Woods has the reaction from community leaders as police continue to investigate.
A night out in the Russell neighborhood quickly took a turn when shots rung out early Saturday morning. Several people were hanging out at H2O Lounge on West Broadway when Louisville Metro Police say 8 people were shot.
We always hear about how those good times turn into total nightmares.
LMPD found 40-year-old Joseph Bowers of Indianapolis dead outside the nightclub. 1 other person was taken to U of L Hospital with life-threatening injuries. In a statement, Louisville Metro Alcoholic Beverage Control said, quote, "The incident at the Club H2O is currently under investigation by LMPD and Louisville Metro ABC. They went on to say the owner of H2O Lounge has temporarily closed the business in light of public safety concerns and to allow the establishment to mourn the loss of their employee.
Unfortunately, it's the same redundant conversation that we have to revisit.
Community activist Christopher 2X of 2X Game Changers is tired of the gun violence. He can only imagine the pain Bowers' family is feeling. 2X says the worst call a family can receive is being notified from LMPD's homicide unit that their loved one has been killed.
It takes on another level of grief that is indescribable for that particular family who is not necessarily from Louisville.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg took to X posting, "Last night's mass shooting makes it painfully clear that we must do more to stop the gun violence that is plaguing our city. LMPD is working hard to apprehend those responsible." He's also asking witnesses to contact LMPD. Police do not have a motive in this shooting. At the end of the day, 2X says there is no win in hurting someone else.
Retaliatory, actions behind this, it just causes more unspeakable pain. The ripple effect is real.
In Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
And just like Taylor said, police are still looking for suspects in the shooting. If you or someone you know witnessed the shooting, you're encouraged to call LMPD's anonymous tip line using this number right here on your screen, which is 574-LMPD. You can also use their online portal. In Arkansas yesterday, 3 people were killed and 10 others were injured after a mass shooting at a grocery store. Police have now released the name of the suspect, which is 44-year-old Travis Posey. The shooting happened at 11:30 yesterday morning in a small city about an hour south of Little Rock. Police say among the injured were 2 officers shot during a shootout with Posey. The injuries range from non-life-threatening to critical.
Good people, just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they didn't deserve it.
It was horrible. I lost a friend of mine in that incident. He was a good person. He did work for the community.
State police say Posey is being charged with 3 counts of capital murder, and more charges could be possible as well. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly double shooting. Police say they received a 911 call about a shooting in Cropper area of Shelby County just before 9 last night. When deputies arrived, they found a woman who had been shot to death and another woman with life-threatening injuries. Deputies have arrested Michael Hunt in connection with the shooting. He has been charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Indiana State Police is investigating a deadly shooting in rural Harrison County. That's about an hour west of Louisville. ISP responded to the reported shooting just after 6 Friday night. Troopers say they got a 911 call from a residence on Mosquito Creek Road near Laconia. Investigators believe 84-year-old Donald Weaver got into an argument with 56-year-old Marion Young early in the evening. Young stepped outside the residence, and police say Weaver followed him and shot him in the arm. Young then ran to the neighbor's house to call 911, and as Young was running, investigators believe Weaver shot and killed 82-year-old Virginia Schofield, which is Young's mother. Police believe Weaver then turned the gun on himself. The investigation is ongoing. Well, switching over to weather now, Alden, we had another hot day coming to a close. I mean, kind of, it's still almost nearing 90 out there at 85 right now, and we are expecting more heat coming up tomorrow, Alden.
Oh, we are. It's a very warm night out here across Metro Louisville, particularly in downtown where you're right. It is 85 degrees with a clear sky, 78 at Fort Knox, still almost 80 degrees there in Madison, 80 in Bardstown right now as well. And we do still have a heat index. It feels like it's still almost 90 degrees at downtown, or at least at Muhammad Ali International Airport. So a hot night to say the least. Max HD radar is dry now. We did have a couple of very light showers earlier, and they were pretty isolated, but you were a winner if you got one of those. Thankfully, we do have some more rain possible as we head into tomorrow morning. So as we look at the next 16 hours, temperatures tonight here in the city only dip into the middle and upper 70s, lower 70s elsewhere. But ahead, I'll break down those rain chances, and I'll let you know if we have any more rain coming our way. Alex.
Thank you, Alden. Hadley Duvall, a Kentucky abortion rights activist, will be accompanying First Lady Jill Biden this weekend in Pennsylvania. The 22-year-old was featured in one of Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's campaign ads that got a lot of attention, speaking out against Daniel Cameron's stance on abortion. Duvall first shared her story discussing the consequences of abortion restrictions. In the ad, she spoke about how she was raped by her stepfather when she was 12, became pregnant, and then miscarried. The ad called out Cameron by name, and Democrats credited it with helping Beshear win re-election. Now Duvall will take her story to the swing state of Pennsylvania as part of President Joe Biden's push to motivate voters on abortion rights. The first presidential debate of the 2024 election is just days away, and both candidates are busy preparing, but in very different ways. President Biden is at the presidential retreat in Camp David, while former President Donald Trump is on the campaign trail speaking to a conservative group in D.C., then heading to Philadelphia. Here's ABC's Allison Kosick with the details.
Donald Trump on the campaign trail this weekend, first in Washington, speaking to a group of conservative evangelical activists, boasting about how he appointed the 3 justices who helped overturn Roe v. Wade.
We have also achieved what the pro-life movement fought to get for 49 years, and we've gotten abortion out of the federal government.
The former president then traveling to Philadelphia, where he downplayed his debate preparations.
You know, when you say prep, I think this is prepping. These people know better than anybody what they want.
Meanwhile, President Biden is spending the weekend at Camp David, his former chief of staff, Ron Klain, leading his debate prep. Campaign officials say Biden will be working on his attacks against Trump on issues like reproductive rights, the economy, and the former president's legal troubles. In an interview earlier this month with World News anchor David Muir, Biden laying out his strategy.
All I have to do is hear what he says, remind people what he says and what I believe, what he believes. He's about him. I'm about the country.
Thursday's debate will be different than when the two men faced each other back in 2020. There will be no studio audience, and the candidates' mics will only be turned on when it's their turn to speak. Trump appearing to feed off the crowd 4 years ago.
I mean, the last debate, I saw that some people were a little turned off by Trump's demeanor. So if he can dial that back a little, I think that might be helpful.
Biden won a coin toss and got to pick where he would stand on the stage, choosing the podium that will be on the right of the television screen. Trump then got to pick the order of closing statements, deciding he will have the last word. The 90-minute matchup will take place Thursday night. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
Indiana's Democratic candidate for governor has chosen her running mate. Jennifer McCormack endorsed former Southern Indiana State Representative Terry Gooden. Gooden from Seymour, Indiana, has represented a dwindling conservative wing of the Indiana Democratic Party. As an Indiana House Democrat, he voted against abortion and same-sex marriage, but in his introductory press conference, Gooden promised voters he had changed his mind. McCormack is facing Republican candidate Senator Mike Braun, who had his own intra-party troubles over a running mate. Indiana Republicans nominated podcasting pastor Micah Beckwith over Braun's own pick. After Beckwith's nomination, Braun said, quote, "There's no doubt about this, I'm in charge, and Micah is going to be someone that works with me. If he doesn't, I think that means it will probably not be as fruitful," end quote. The Supreme Court has upheld a law that removes guns from those who have domestic violence restraining orders against them. This decision was an 8-1 majority, with only Justice Clarence Thomas dissenting. In Chief Justice John Roberts' opinion, he wrote, "The laws in question confirm what common sense suggests. What an individual poses a clear threat of physical violence to another, the threatening individual may be disarmed." The overwhelming decision is a win for women like Lashea Cretin, who was shot 5 times by her ex-boyfriend back in 1996.
They listen to survivors. They listen to us. Because it's not a day, a minute, or a second that we don't think about it and we don't feel the pain.
In his dissent, Justice Clarence Thomas said only gun laws rooted in the nation's founding history and tradition can comply with the Second Amendment. The Supreme Court still has several major cases to decide, including former President Trump's presidential immunity trial. Trump argues former presidents are immune from prosecution for official acts they took in office. Should the court side with Trump, his charges for election interference must be dismissed. They also must decide whether doctors can provide abortion care in emergencies where a woman's health is at serious risk. Another case centers around whether people can be banned from sleeping outdoors. Advocates argue those type of laws criminalize homelessness, just as rising costs have pushed the number of people without permanent housing to record levels.